Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make chili con carne. So for that you need kidney beans, you need maize, you need tomatoes here, of course you need tomato paste, onions, chili powder because we're making chili con carne, and you also need garlic. Cumin, pepper, paprika powder, and salt. And you need chili. They're called jalapenos. But first we are gonna cut up some onions here. So I'll be washing them and we are gonna cut them up. So I'll be cutting up all the onions here because we need them. Cut off the stuff that you don't need. So once they are cut up, I'll be back. So I have magically cut up the onions. Now these are green onions, you can use white onions as well. And now we are gonna wash the chilies here, the jalapenos, and we are gonna cut them up as well. We're gonna cut up two red ones and a green one, because I think 5 would be a little bit too much. So we're just gonna use 3. So I'm gonna chop up one just to show you guys. Cut off what you don't need. Then what you want to do is cut them in half like that. And you want to keep the pips inside because those are sharp. Hot. You want to keep those inside. That will give a little bit more pep to your sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop them up like that. And you don't want to go with your finger in your eyes. Otherwise your eyes are going to get sore. And later on, I'll be going like that. They cut them even smaller. So I'm gonna chop them smaller again. I'm gonna go like that. Now I'm only gonna be prepping stuff at first. And later on we are going to make the chili. So prepping first and then cook the chili con carne. You got to have everything ready first before you start cooking. So we have our jalapenos cut up and we have we have our onions so far. Now what we want to do is we want to drain the kidney beans. We want to wash them off and drain them, so let's get to it. So what we're going to do, we're going to drain the maize and we're going to drain the kidney beans and wash them, because we're going to be adding kidney beans and maize. Now you want to drain them pretty good. Alright. That is that. And now we're going to drain the maize. So now the maize. Alright. And now we're going to transfer. Now these have been already cut up. Now these are tomatoes. I'm going to open them up and transfer them into the bowl there, because we'll be needing them later on. So I have transferred one already. I'm going to transfer a half of this in here, because I'm not going to be using the last one, all of it. I'm going to use only half of it. So we are going to transfer the other half into this bowl. Now these cut up tomatoes, they are pretty much seasoned already. So I don't have to season those anymore. And they are already cut up too. So now I have to make a chicken broth. So that is next on the list. So we're going to come over here real quick. We have the kidney beans, the cut up jalapenos, the cut up tomatoes, and the maize. And here we have the onions. So next on the list is making the chicken broth. And we almost forgot the chili con carne powder. That is also going to be going into my chili. So to make the chicken broth, you need 3 cubes of chicken broth and some water. And we're going to be putting the water and these cubes in there to boil them up. So I'm going to turn up the heat here. I'm going to grab some water here. That should be enough, and we're going to put the water into that pot. So that is my chicken broth cubes in the water. We're going to put the whisk in. We're going to let the water boil up to temperature, and then we stir the cubes into the water, so we have our chicken broth then. And then when the chicken broth is finished, we're going to transfer that into that measuring cup. So we have our chicken broth here. I'm just going to let that come up to the boil, and we're going to be transferring it in there. So I'm going to give that a stir here. Looking good. Alright, we have transferred the chicken broth into this container here. And now we are going to put some oil into that pan here, and we're going to bake our minced meat, because that is next. And I also need a pot as well. Now this is the minced meat. This is mixed. This is pork, and I think it's pork and cow meat, mixed meat. So we're gonna put it into the bowl first, and then we're gonna put it into the pan. So now we're gonna heat the pan up here. put some oil into the pan, not too much. We're going to get the pan all heated up, and we need tomato paste. Now you want the pan here pretty hot, otherwise you're going to lose a lot of water in the meat here, and that is going to mix with the oil, and the meat is going to start cooking instead of baking. You want to bake your minced meat and not cook it. So once it's cooked and baked, we're going to be transferring that into the pot here and cook our chili con carne. And that is what the tomato paste looks like. We're going to be adding it in once the minced meat is baked. Adding in maybe 2 tablespoons of the paste here. And then we are going to cut it with the chicken broth here to stop it from sticking to the pan and giving it flavor. See, that paste here gives the meat a lot of flavor, and the chicken broth as well. So that is what we want, a lot of flavor. So we are baking our minced meat here. It's not being seasoned yet. I'm going to season this later on. Yeah, you want it thoroughly baked. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. So once that is baked, I'll be adding in the tomato paste. Now at this stage, the tomato paste. I'm going to add in all of it. Going to mix that in. I've turned down the heat a little bit. So now we're going to add in the chicken broth pretty soon. I have added in some chicken broth here. Bring that up to the boil. And now I'll be adding in the onions. So onions are added in. I'm going to boil this some more, and you want to bake the onions as well. Now I'm also going to add in some garlic powder. You can cut fresh garlic as well, and put that in. Oh, that smells tasteful already. Now I'm going to add in some garlic powder. Alright, garlic powder is added in, and now I'm going to transfer that over to the pot. So let's transfer it over. So all transferred over, and now we are going to add in our tomatoes. So tomatoes are added in. Here, we're going to give that a stir. And we're going to add in the rest of our chicken broth here. So let's give that a stir. So that is what the chili looks like, but it's not finished yet, because once that has come up to the boil, we're going to put in the kidney beans here. We're going to put in the chili, the jalapenos here, and we're going to put the maize in as well, and all the other spices that I have listed at the start of the video. So what we're going to do, we're going to add in some cumin here. Then we're going to add in chili powder. Chili powder. Give it a stir. We're going to add in some paprika powder. Paprika powder. So once that has come up to the boil, we're going to add in our jalapenos that we have cut up. Now I have turned that to 9. Some people like to cook it at 7 or 8. But this is coming up to the boil, and soon we are going to be adding in our jalapenos. So our jalapenos are added in. I'm going to give it a stir. So after I have put in the maize and the kidney beans, I'm going to season it off with salt and pepper. So put the maize in first, then the kidney beans, because kidney beans, you don't want to overcook them. So I added in the maize, and now I'm going to add in the kidney beans soon. Now I haven't used all of it. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna add in all of the kidney beans here. So now the salt. And the pepper. We're going to be using, that is the wrong one. Pepper. Alright. And give it another stir. And as you guys can hear, it's boiling. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit here. And we're going to add in our kidney beans. Kidney beans are in. Let's give it a stir. So we can see the maize and the kidney beans in there. I'm going to simmer this at 4. Now you don't want to turn up the heat that much either. Otherwise you're going to overcook those kidney beans. I'm going to taste it and season it up a little bit more. Because those kidney beans, they don't have any taste to them at all. Now what I would like to do is, I'm going to add some yogurt to this. Not much. So let's let that come up to the boil again. Now that yogurt was therefore to bring down the sharpness a little bit of that chili con carne. And that is what it looks like when it's finished. And she's tasting good too. So I hope you have liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Maybe you make your chili con carne a little bit different. There are several ways of doing it. As you can see, it's coming up to the boil again. And I'll be having this for dinner even. So we will see you in the next video. And have a nice day. Yeah, this is coming up to the boil again. I'm gonna have to turn down the heat a little bit to 4. So, we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, and thanks for watching.